Chairman of the Presidential Task Force, Honorable Ministers, gentlemen and ladies of the press, good afternoon. Thank God it's Friday. I know you've had a long week, so have we. So I thought that we'll keep today fairly upbeat and talk about what I tried to refer to as the new triology of our lives: mass, hygiene, and distancing. So as we go into the weekend with this new way of life that we will have to adapt to, I would like to reflect with you a little bit on mass, on this thing on my face and on all of yours, and why we now have to wear this. And the best analogy that came to mind recently to me was a few years ago. I was invited to a university in Ghana called the Aseshi University, and I was speaking to the founder, and he told me that in his university that students, and this was in a master's class, said that they didn't want any invigilation during their exams anymore. So, how can you have exams without an invigilator? So he said the students said that the exams and the knowledge they are acquiring means too much to them to require somebody to supervise whether they're copying from each other. Meaning that they will hold each other accountable for their exams because they do not want to belittle the degree that they will get. And it was childish at a master's level to expect that behavior is only regulated by enforcement. And I think this analogy is so apt when we think of wearing masks. Masks are not something that we want the police to enforce, or that we require just another government intervention that has been imposed onto us. This is something that we're saying it's important for us to survive, to keep our families safe, our friends alive, people that we care for, and ourselves. So this is not something we're doing because government is now saying we should wear masks. It's something we need to do for ourselves. And to do it for ourselves means we don't need any supervision. We don't need the chairman of the Presidential Task Force. You don't need the policeman stopping you on the road to insist that you wear a mask. Why am I saying this? In many parts, we've been hearing anecdotes of taxi drivers having masks that they give people when they enter their cabs to wear so that the police doesn't stop you. It completely defeats the purpose of these measures. So this is really an appeal to ourselves and all of us that despite how challenging it is, to remember that these are life-saving measures that we need to carry out for ourselves. The other thing is also to think about what are the appropriate masks to wear. A mask like this is enough for anyone among us that is going out in public. If you can afford a surgical mask like some people are wearing in the room, all well and good. And that's our advice. The highly specialized N95 masks we advise to be used in hospitals and in people providing care. But there are also exceptions where people are at specific risk for all sorts of personal reasons that they could do that. But in terms of the categories of masks and how they're used, this is how we think about them. We also advise, if you're wearing a mask like I'm wearing today, please remember to wash them every evening. That means it will be good to have a few. Just like you have other clothes, you can get 7 and you wash them over the weekend and make sure you have a clean one every day. The other key thing to remember is disposal. If you're wearing a disposable surgical mask, it's important that we think about disposal. There are many ways to do this safely. You buy one of these polythene bags, you put them in, tie them up, and put them in the waste. Just to put them away and get them away from people picking up masks to sell, reuse, and dispose of casually. Because disposing and picking up any of these masks, like some of you are wearing, can also add to the risks that we all face. So we've gone the extra mile to put up actually a guidance on masks on our website. This normally would not be necessary, but we hope that this can guide some of the actions that we're going to take over this weekend. So I wish you all an excellent weekend, one filled with joy and happiness, but always remember, mask hygiene and distancing as we enjoy our weekends with our families. Thank you very much.